motherfucker.
The Jell-O Program, starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston and Phil Harris and his orchestra.
Thank you. This is Groucho Marx. Well, here I am, stepping in over my head again.
With Fibber McGee and Molly.
Folks, this is just as new to me as it is to you.
Hello? Hello, Mr. Benny, this is Rochester. The Great Gildersleeve.
Well, what an original greeting.
Hello and welcome to another week of comedy, funny, haha, on Dwayne Old Time Radio. One thing, please subscribe to my channel. If you enjoy what I'm doing, subscribing is 100% free. Also, one more thing, if you have a few seconds or 1 minute, please leave a review on your preferred podcast service, especially if you're on Apple, Spotify, or really just your preferred podcast service. Thank you and hope you enjoy.
Groucho Marx returns with 2 episodes from You Bet Your Life. The first is The Secret Word is Grass. This is the 68th episode, November 16th, 1949. And the 69th episode is Secret Word is Sky, November 23rd, 1949.
Good word tonight is grass. Grass.
Really? You bet your life. The one, the only. 30 days. Next case. Oh, that's me, Groucho Marx. Thank you. Well, here I am again with $1,000 for one of our couples tonight. George Fenneman, who's first?
We invited some girls from the Los Angeles International Airport and some weather forecasters to the show tonight, and our studio audience selected Mrs. June Palmer and Mr. Delbert Van Ornum just before we went on the air. And here they are. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Mr. Delbert Van Ornum?
That's right, sir.
You're the weatherman?
Yes, sir.
Where do you hail from?
I'm from Seattle, Washington.
Mm-hmm. Some people out there from Spokane. Are you married?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Any little squalls at home with their barometers dropping?
A boy and a girl.
A boy and a girl.
Yes.
And Miss Palmer, huh? That's a cute name, June Palmer. It sounds like a movie actress.
Thank you.
You're from the airport. What's your hometown?
Denver, Colorado.
Mm-hmm. Now, weatherman, Mr. Van Ornum, I think our listeners would be interested in knowing what kind of weather you've got lined up for tomorrow. Could you tell us?
Well, when I left the office, there was rain, snow, and winds up to 60 miles an hour, and some fair weather.
Typical weatherman, all right. What do you mean? There was 5 different kinds of weather when you left the office?
Well, we deal with weather throughout the whole North American continent.
Oh, I see. Well, you certainly clouded the issue there. With that kind of a prediction, you'll have everybody wearing a bathing suit, galoshes, and a pith helmet. Now, where do you take these weird stabs at the weather, Mr. Van Ornum?
It's at the Crick Meteorological Consultant Service.
Crick?
Yes, Dr. Irving P. Crick.
Oh. I have a title home name, Irving. I found him in a creek. Would he be any... What do you use for your prognosticating? A watermelon?
Well, we have a fairly scientific method.
Well, how do you find out? Do you look in the morning paper like all the rest of us?
No, we have a setup of teletypes, and we get weather reports from the Hawaiian Islands and Alaska and all through Canada and the United States into Caribbean Sea.
Well, what's the need of a private weather service like that? That's a private service?
Yes, sir.
Doesn't the Weather Bureau, the regular one, make enough mistakes to go around?
Well, they don't have enough money to give a personal service to individual industries. We have gold placer mining company in Alaska. And then we have Los Angeles County Flood Control.
What's so funny about it? This is certainly a comic town we're living in. Mention Los Angeles, and everybody in the audience goes in hysterics. We're getting to be the Brooklyn of the West. Is your service always 100% accurate?
Well, we allow for a small margin of error. And
I got caught in a small margin of error once. They finally had to extradite me from Canada. Well, Mrs. Palmer, let's get back to you, and that's not bad work. Now, just what do you do at the Los Angeles International Airport?
I'm an announcer.
Mm-hmm. You're much prettier than Fenneman back there. Just what do you announce?
Arrivals and departures.
You mean you run a berth and obituary column?
Oh, no. Arrivals and departures of planes.
The arrival and departures of airplanes, I see. Well, how do you announce the arrival of an airplane? Mr. and Mrs. TWA Constellation wish to announce the arrival of a bouncing Piper Cub.
No, it's much less complicated
And the
than
pilot
that.
is walking up and down nervous, handing out cigars.
No,
how do you
it's
do
not
it?
that complicated. We announce the arrivals for the passengers, and we announce takeoffs.
Mm-hmm. I can see I haven't lived a full life. What do they take off?
They take off the runway.
They take off on the runway? This is certainly the age of progress, all right. Mrs. Palmer, where do your planes come from and where do they go?
Well, we have them coming from Canada. We have planes coming from Paris. We have planes coming from Mexico City and going to Mexico City and Paris,
Well,
France.
suppose one of your planes is arriving from Mexico City. How do you announce it?
Pan American World Airways anuncia la llegada del vuelo 581 procedente de México, Centro y Sudamérica.
Tell me, does that always bring the swallows back to Capistrano? Would you mind deciphering what you just said?
I simply said that a plane was arriving from Mexico City, Central and South America.
Suppose your plane hasn't been anywhere near Mexico. Suppose it's coming from Paris. What do you say?
TWA anuncia arrivée de le vol numéro 95.
I can keep this up as long as you can. Suppose it's breezing in from China.
TWA Constellation Flight 12, now arriving at TWA Concourse.
Well, that's the first Chinese I ever understood. Well, you make an extremely interesting couple, and we're happy to have you here. Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to work together as a team for $1,000. But right now, I want you to pay attention to some interesting advice. Now, let's see if you two will get a chance at the $1,000 question. You're going to play You Bet Your Life. Fenneman, give out with the rules.
Each of our three couples has $20. They bet as much of that 20 as they want on each of 4 questions. The couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $1,000 question at the end of the show. Our other 2 couples are in a waiting room off stage, so they don't know what's happening out here.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected national parks as your category. Is that right? All right. Now, here's your first question. You have $20. How much are you going to risk?
$10.
$10. All right. Where are the Carlsbad Caverns?
In Carlsbad, New Mexico.
That's right. Absolutely right.
We're off to a great start with $30.
Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. How much of your $30 will you try?
15.
15. In what state is Glacier National Park?
Montana.
Montana is right.
They're still on their way. They have $45.
All right, you've got $45. How much of the 45 are you going to try?
20.
20? In what state is Big Bend National Park?
California.
Bigbend.
Big Bend.
Oregon.
No, I'm sorry. The answer is Texas.
They now have $25.
How much of the 25 will you bet?
10. 10.
10? All right, here we go. Where is Mammoth Cave National Park?
Kentucky.
In old Kentucky is right.
And they wind up with a grand total of $35.
Thanks and good luck. Now stick around. You still have a chance for the big question.
Groucho, the secret word is still grass. Our next couple has been in a waiting room off stage, so they don't know what it is. Just before we went on the air, we selected two housewives from the audience, and here they come. Mrs. Ernestine Clark and Mrs. Capitola Fredrickson meet Groucho Marx.
Mrs. Ernestine Clark, you're a housewife, huh?
That's right.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been a housewife?
3 years.
Mrs. Capitola Fredrickson?
Yes.
Sound like a German airport, huh? Capitola, is that Spanish?
No, it isn't. It's an Indian name, or Italian name, but I'm Indian.
Oh, well, what is your maiden name, your Indian name?
My Indian name is Capitola Salim Janat Ozawandib Tabasanapadok Kinu Caswell.
Well, that's very true. On the other hand, if you put in... Is that really your name, or is that the treaty ending the French and Indian War?
No, that's really our name.
What does it mean, Capitola, in English?
Well, that means the girl with the dark brown hair flowing outwards under low clouds with a little eagle.
Should have kept the weatherman here, huh? Did you say with a little eagle?
That was our original family name. Gnu that means little eagle.
Gnu?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like Yiddish. Huh? You know, when you're through eating, you say, well, Gnu. So you're part Indian, eh?
Yes, I am.
Which part, Captain? I meant on which side of the family are you Indian?
Oh, my father was a full-blooded Indian.
Uh-huh. I'd be satisfied to have full blood of any kind. Eh? Well, tell me, Indian Summer, how long have you been married?
I've been married 9 years.
Mm-hmm. And what does your husband do besides complain about the grocery bills?
He works in the post office.
What does your husband do, Ernestine?
He's an actor.
An actor? Oh, well, that's too bad, huh? Is anything being done about it?
Oh, I'm satisfied.
Huh? Do you have any little hams in the icebox at home? You look mighty cute with those bangs and everything. What did you do before you hooked your husband? Huh?
I was with the circus.
You were with the circus?
That's right.
Oh. What'd you do with the circus?
I was a bareback rider.
Oh. Was it a flea circus?
No, there's only one circus.
There's only one circus?
That's right. Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey.
Oh, that's the one you were with, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's my favorite circus. Tell me, is Jenny Lind, the Swedish Nightingale, still with him?
Not for the last 100 years or so.
Well, I haven't been to the circus lately. What, you say you were a bareback rider?
That's right.
Did you lose your shirt on a horse?
No, the horse's back was bare, not mine.
Oh, you mean the horse lost his shirt, huh? That's what he gets for betting on the human race. Huh? How long were you with the circus?
All my life, and I'm returning in a few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Do you use any special horse, or can any horse be trained?
No, we have to have a special horse.
Uh-huh. Tell us about your act in the circus. What do you do on the horse besides ride horseback?
I dance.
You dance on a horse?
That's right.
What kind of a dance? A foxtrot?
No, ballet dancing.
Oh, ballet dance? You drink a pony of brandy or anything before you start?
No, that's not
You do a ballet? Well, whose ballet? Is the horse's ballet, or... I thought you rode on his back.
I do.
Well, what made you decide to become a bareback rider?
I had no choice in the matter. My mother and father were bareback riders, and my grandparents and my great-grandparents and so on back for about 5 or 6 generations.
Well, in other words, you were practically born on a horse. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
You must have been a bouncing baby, huh? Well, when you're traveling with the circus, what do you do for amusement? Do you go to the circus in the evening if you're bored? Or...
Yes, there's a...
What do you do, huh?
Well, we bareback riders have a softball team.
A softball team?
Uh-huh, and the midgets
Who do you
have
play?
a softball team. Well, we play the midgets.
Play the midgets, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Nice team. 9 shortstops, huh? Now, all this talk sounds very exciting. Will your act be all complete when you return to the circus in a few weeks?
Almost.
Well, maybe this is my big chance. What else do you need to complete your act, huh?
I need another horse.
Well, Barnum was right. There's one born every minute. Well, I must say we're delighted to have you both here tonight. You're both wonderful kids. Now, let's play You Bet Your Life for $1,000. You run your $20 into more than the other couples, and you get a chance at the big question later. Fenneman's off stage to remind our listeners how much the first couple won.
The weatherman and the airport girl won $35.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected Western songs. Is that right?
Yes.
Now, you have $20, and here's your first question. How much will you bet?
We'll bet 10.
Jerry Fielding will play, and you identify the song. Okay, Jerry.
Wagon wheel.
Wagon wheels are right.
They're on their way with $30.
Well, remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. That's the big prize. Now, you've got $30. How much of the 30 you're going to try?
25.
Give me the title of this Western song. Cheyenne is right, huh?
They're really on their way now. They have $55.
All right, you've got $55. Here's your third question. How much of the 55 you going to try?
50.
All right, what's the name of this Western song? Play, Jerry.
Red River Valley.
Red River Valley.
They now have $105.
Well, you're right up at the top of those three rings up there. You've got $105, and here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much will you bet?
90, she says.
How much?
90.
Let's see if you can identify this song.
Don't fence me in.
Don't fence me in.
And they wind up with a grand total of $195.
Thanks and good luck. Now, in just 1 minute, our last couple will play You Bet Your Life, and then we know who gets the $1,000 question. But right now, I want you to pay attention to this.
All right, pay attention to us right here at 626-585-7500. We'll continue with the last few minutes of that show very, very shortly, but it's imperative now that we meet our goal for this second hour. And
that was Ernie Bear. Ernie Bear.
Parley's wife.
Parley's wife on You Bet Your Life.
It is important that we meet that goal. We need a $1,200 hour, and we're way behind the second hour. If you've enjoyed the last 15 minutes or so, then show us, tell us. 626-585-7500. Bubba?
And the number again, 626-585-7500. Let me just say thanks to some of the people who have called in. Susan out of Fullerton called in. Thank you so very much. Anonymous, John out of Ranchos, Santa Margarita. I love that name of the boy. Wouldn't you like to live in a town you can drink it? Linda in North Hollywood called in. Thank you so very much. We appreciate that. Anonymous pledge, this one from Corona Del Mar. And let's see here. Colin out of Ontario called in.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And here's Anonymous from Redondo Beach, and he says, Coors West wants Frank to contribute. Frank, you're on notice. We want your money, Frank. The number is 626-585-7500. Coors West has done the right thing. Frank, you need to do what you need to do, and let's get this show on the road. 626-585-7500.
We only have 2 books left from Gerald Nachman's Raised on Radio. If you want those books, you better get them now.
Out the door, $65. Also, I should have mentioned this. We also have books to Tony Bennett, The Good Life, okay? Tony Bennett's book, The Good Life, $75. You can have that as well. 626-585-7500. We're going back to same time, same station in about a minute, 15 seconds. 626-585-7500. Ed out of Corona called in. Thank you so very much. And Ed said he was raised on radio. So he's got that book, and he's going to be tuned in and everything. So, again, we only have 2 of those books left, Raised on Radio. Once it's out of here, it's out. 626-585-7500. So many different ways to say thank you. Don't forget we have tickets for the salute to Benny Goodman and Lionel Hampton, and featuring Terry Gibbs, and on clarinet, Terry Harrington. That's coming up Sunday, December the 13th at 7 p.m., and that's going to be at the Ruth B. Shannon Center for the Performing Arts at Whittier College.
Yeah,
great center.
We've sung there before.
Oh, it's a great hall.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is call us right now. Oh, I think that is, it is $75, Visa, MasterCard. Larry, I didn't mean to step on you in that one. Go ahead.
It hurt, but that's okay. Do you have that other piece of paper I gave you earlier before we went on the air?
Yes. Where is it? Well, you know what?
We'll get to it after this segment.
Yeah.
Okay. 626-585-7500. The phones are not ringing. We need to hear from you. Those who are waiting till the last minute. Well, this is about the last minute. 626-585-7500. Why don't we do the last segment of about 9 minutes of You Bet Your Life, and then we'll come back and wrap up and thank people and get ready to get into G-Dad. It was a Wurlitzer. And
that's it, my friend. It's G-Dad. It's the Wurlitzer coming up at 7 o'clock. But right now,
here's You Bet Your
time,
Life.
Same station.
Groucho Marx and You Bet Your Life, as originally broadcast November 16, 1949. Calling the numbers 626-585-7500.
Now then, we'll soon know who's going to earn the most money and get the chance at the $1,000 question. George, who's ahead so far?
Well, the housewives are leading with $195. Our final couple doesn't know the secret word is grass. They've been in a waiting room off stage, and perhaps they'll say it. We asked for two young people who'd like to get married if they found the right person. And just before we went on the air, the studio audience selected Mr. Gordy Wright and Miss Virginia Owens to be his partner. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, kids, to You Bet Your Life. Now, Fenneman says you two would like to get married if you found the right partner. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Right.
Well, perhaps I can be of some assistance. Virginia Owens, is that right?
That's right.
Where are you from, Virginia?
No, Minneapolis.
Minneapolis? I didn't know that was in Virginia.
No, it isn't. My name's Virginia.
Oh, well, I'm glad to know you. My name's Groucho Marx. Now, tell me, Minneapolis. I'll just call you Minnie, eh? Why did you leave Virginia?
No, my name's Virginia.
Oh. That sounds familiar. Haven't I met you someplace before? Why did you leave Minneapolis? Because it isn't in Virginia?
No, not exactly. I came out here to take a try at the movies.
Mm-hmm. And did you get in?
Not so far.
Have you tried purchasing a ticket? Have you abandoned all hope for a film career, Virginia?
Oh, definitely not.
Why don't you try it? Crosby gave up hope for a film career. Mr. Gordy Wright, huh? Is that
yes, sir.
Gordy Wright? You look very gaudy. You look right, but not gaudy. Now, where are you from, Mr. Wright?
My home state is Louisiana.
Mm-hmm. So far, this person has been from 11 states tonight. You must be the Arkansas Traveler, huh? Now, what is this nonsense about you wanting to get married? Is that right, Gordy?
Well, that's right. If
You
I
would
could
like
find
to-
the right kind of a girl.
Virginia, did you say you'd like to get married?
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been looking for a husband?
Months.
Well, don't be discouraged. A friend of mine got married 4 years ago, and she's still looking for a husband. Tell me, Virginia, what kind of a man are you looking for? Huh?
Oh, gee. Someone that's about medium height and intelligent and someone who's a good rumba dancer and...
You want an intelligent man who can do a rumba, huh? That's two different men. You'll get arrested for bigamy. Gordy, can you rumba?
Well, I can wiggle.
Let's find out some more about you two. What sort of work do you do, Mr. Wright?
I'm a salesman.
Mm-hmm. Well, my next joke may be the death of a salesman. What do you sell?
I sell Smart and Final Company food products. One of our best-known items is the Smart and Final coffee, the S&F coffee, and, of course, our fine fruits and vegetables.
Do you think coffee will really go up to $1 a pound?
I couldn't say, sir.
Well, I don't know why you can't. Even if you don't believe it, you could say it. I won't tell anybody. Now, Virginia, where do you work?
I'm a special sales representative for the Bazooka Bubblegum Company.
Well, blow me down. Well, for a beautiful girl, that sounds like a pretty important executive job. Just what do you do, mostly, Virginia?
Blow bubbles.
A job like that could blow right up in your face, couldn't it? What do you mean you blow bubble gum? You walk around the street blowing bubble gum?
Well, not exactly. I go to nightclubs and veterans hospitals and teach everyone how to blow bubbles.
Mm-hmm. How did you ever land a job like that?
I was chosen out of a group of models to represent Miss Bazooka.
You're Miss Bazooka, right?
Mm-hmm.
You must be loaded, huh?
Well...
How old are you, Minneapolis? I mean, Virginia.
21.
And how old are you, Gordy?
28.
28. Coincidence. That's just what I am, 21 and 28. Who knows? Maybe you two are meant for each other. Do you have any definite ideas about the kind of person you're looking for? Say about 5'5", Gordy?
Just about right.
Eyes that are full of mischief? A figure that stands out in the crowd?
Wonderful.
Well, stop looking at Virginia when you answer me, huh? Now, if this person answered all this description, and plus that was a movie star, do you think you could fall in love?
I know I could.
Kiss me, you fool. That's me, Groucho. And remember, Virginia, if he gets all puckered up, he's not interested in snapping his bubble gum. Huh? Well, you're a mighty cute couple, and I hope you'll go through life together blowing bubbles. Huh? Now, let's play You Bet Your Life. If you can beat our other two couples in the quiz, you'll get a crack at the $1,000 question. I can't tell you how much they won, but George is off stage to remind our listeners.
The bareback rider and the housewife are ahead with $195.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you to your $20. You selected personalities behind the movie scenes as your category, okay?
Shoot.
All right, here's your first question. How much will you bet?
$10.
10? What is Percy Westmore's job in the making of a movie?
Makeup.
Makeup man is right.
They're on their way with $30.
Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. How much of your $30 will you try?
$20.
$20. What is Max Steiner's job in the movies?
Makeup. No. Designer. Hairdresser.
No, you've had three good, healthy answers, but you're still wrong, huh?
Max Steiner's a cameraman.
No, that's four answers, but he's the musical director, huh?
They now have $10.
We go out of our way to be kindly around here. Now, here's your third question. How much of the $10 will you try?
$5.
All right. What is Edith Head's job in the movies?
Designer.
Lowe's designer is right.
They're on the way again. They have $15.
Now you have $15, and here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 15?
Shoot the
Got it. Shoot the word.
What is Natalie Kalmus's job in making pictures?
Technicolor director.
Technicolor director is right.
And they wind up with $30. And that means the two housewives with $195 get the chance at the $1,000 question. And here's the winning couple, Groucho, the two housewives.
Ready to try for $1,000. All right, good luck, and I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you, so talk it over thoroughly, and no help from the audience, please. Let's see how much you know about your government. For $1,000, who is the Senate Majority Leader? What is the answer you two have decided upon?
We haven't. Oh, only one I can think of is Fielding or...
No, I'm sorry. It's Senator Scott Lucas. I'm sorry. That's the correct answer. So that means the big question next week will be worth $1,500. Congratulations, and thanks to both of you.
Your Life is a John Goodell production, transcribed from Hollywood, directed by Bob Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't mention this to a soul, but the secret word tonight is sky. S-K-Y.
Really?
You bet your life. Elgin America, creator of America's most beautiful compact, smartest cigarette cases, magic action lighters, finest dresser sets, presents Groucho Marx in the Elgin American show, You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here's that sterling Elgin American, the one, the only...
When did he get out? Oh, that's me, Groucho Marx. Thank you. Well, here I am again with $1,500 for one of our couples tonight. George Fenneman, who's first to try and take it away from me?
Just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected the father of a bride and the mother of a groom. And here they are, Mrs. Fay Levine and Mr. Martin McHugh. Meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for Elgin American Compacts, folks. And if one of you says the secret word, he wins a 16-millimeter Apollo Sound movie projector instantly. It's a common word, something you see every day. Mr. Martin McHugh, huh?
That's right.
You're the father of the bride, huh? How do you feel?
I have felt peppier.
Why don't you get some sleep?
I will when the wedding's over.
Aren't you married?
My daughter's getting married.
You mean your daughter's wedding, huh?
That's right.
You're the mother of the groom, eh, Mr.
Yes.
B? When is your son going to be bridled? Married, huh?
February.
February, huh? How long have you known Mr. McHugh?
I don't know Mr. McHugh.
Then I don't think you two should get married. Huh?
We're not.
Mrs. Levine, who just is getting married?
My son.
Your
and
son?
his daughter.
To each other?
No, not to each other.
Why not? Why aren't they?
They don't know each other.
They don't know each other?
No.
What better reason do you want for getting married? Let's get better acquainted. But how long have you been married, Mr. McHugh? Huh?
About 22 years.
Mm-hmm. Now, how'd you meet your wife?
Well, I met her in a boarding house in St. Louis. Saw her coming down the steps one morning as I was about to eat breakfast, and that finished me for the breakfast. I didn't eat any.
You were eating breakfast on the steps?
I started to. No, at the table. But I saw her coming down the steps.
What were you eating? Do you remember?
Well, I started to drink some coffee.
Mm-hmm. And that was grounds for marriage?
That right there, yes. I was hooked right there.
How did you meet your husband, Mrs. Levine? Huh?
Well, I came from London to Toronto, Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband had been living at my sister's 6 weeks.
Uh-huh. And?
Well, it looked like something that I thought would be just right.
For your sister?
No, my sister.
Your sister didn't care for him?
Huh? Well, she was married.
Answer my question, Mrs. Levine.
Oh, she liked him.
Well, will your son and his wife live with you or with her folks?
Well, they're going to live on their own.
They're going to live on their own what, huh? Oh, they're going to live by themselves, huh? Why don't they live together? What sort of work does your husband do?
Well, he has the Carlo cleaners.
Carlo cleaners?
Mm-hmm.
And what is your occupation, Mr. McHugh?
I sell surgical instruments and hospital supplies for the ASLO company.
Anything exciting ever happened on your job that you'd care to relate, Mr. McHugh?
Well, something happened just a couple of weeks ago I thought was quite funny.
You did, huh?
A customer called up, a woman customer, and she immediately complained about receiving a piece of equipment that was damaged. And finally she said, well, I can't hear you, talk louder. And I did. I talked much louder. And finally she said she couldn't hear me again, and then there was a lull in the conversation. The next thing I heard, she said, I'm sorry, but I'll have to call you back. My battery went out.
Did she say who it went out with? Now, Mr. McHugh, as the father of the bride, tell me, are you the big wheel at the wedding?
Well, I think I am. I'm supposed to be.
In what way?
Well, I pay all the bills.
How much is the wedding going to set you back, approximately?
Oh, I'd say roughly in the neighborhood of $2,000.
That's a fairly rough neighborhood, isn't it? Aside from that little $2,000 item, Mr. McHugh, what are some of your other duties connected with the wedding?
Well, I've got to give the bride away and act
$2,000 giveaway, I hope the FCC doesn't stop the music. Is that all you do at the wedding, just give away the bride?
No, I act as host and see that everybody's happy and gets enough to eat and drink.
Mm-hmm. Well, you look like a pretty genial host, Mr. McHugh. So all the guests are going to be very happy there.
Well, we hope so.
I hope so, too. And if your daughter is half as cute as you are, I think it's going to be... Has the swag started rolling in yet? The wedding stuff?
Well,
the gifts?
A few things have.
Uh-huh. You know why everybody sends presents to the bride, don't you? The only chance they have of getting rid of some of the junk that they got on their wedding.
Groucho.
Yeah, yes, George?
I'd like to make a suggestion to Mr. McHugh.
Well, you go right ahead, George.
All right, it's
customary. Nobody makes finer suggestions than you do, George.
Mr. McHugh, it's customary for the bride to give nice remembrances to her bridesmaids. And compacts, pearls, and cigarette cases by Elgin American are certainly wonderful gifts at weddings everywhere.
Thank you, George. I now pronounce you Elgin American. And speaking of gifts, what are you going to give Mrs. Levine here?
Well, Elgin American's beautiful dresser set, finished in jeweler's bronze that looks like gold. A perfect gift.
How do you like it, Mrs. L?
I like it very well.
Oh.
It's just what I need.
Well, how was the wedding, huh?
He's not married
He's
yet.
not married yet.
No.
The groom got cold feet?
No, I
Usually, as most husbands discover, it's the bride that has the cold feet, huh? I want to thank all you foot warmers out there. Now, Mr. McHugh, let's get back to you. As father of the bride, what are some of your expenses?
Well, I have to buy the trousseau for the bride and food and various other things.
Mm-hmm. You seem to be providing everything for the wedding.
Looks like.
Doesn't the groom's family supply anything?
Nothing more than the groom.
Well, that's certainly little enough, huh? Do you think that's fair, Mrs. Levine?
Well, yes, because the groom has to pay all expenses afterwards.
Yeah, but after the wedding, the bride's father has all the bills to pay, while the groom's father has a room to rent. Huh? Now let's play You Bet Your Wife. Let's play You Bet Your Life. In just 1 minute, you're going to work together as a team for $1,500. But right now, I want you to listen carefully to some interesting conversation.
Mary, what can I give Eleanor Blake for Christmas? She has everything. She may have everything, but her bedroom hasn't. Of course. She needs a dresser set. You've given me a wonderful idea.
And dresser sets are the decorator touch every bedroom needs today. Elgin American dresser sets for the most beauty, most value. They're exquisitely styled, engraved, and finished. Precision made to the last nylon bristle. Extremely value priced. Comb, brush, and mirror from just $14.95. From $7.95 for Elgin American's companion line of American Beauty dresser sets. So bring your bedroom, your guest room, up to the minute. Buy Elgin American dresser sets tomorrow. And buy them for the important, impressive gifts they make. Just make sure they're first in fashion, first in value. Elgin American dresser sets.
Now then, let's see how well you two will do in the quiz. Fenneman, tell them how you play You Bet Your Life.
Each of our three couples has $20. They bet as much of that 20 as they want on each of 4 questions. The couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $1,500 question at the end of the show. Our other 2 couples are in a waiting room off stage, so they don't know what's happening out here.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected questions on famous hotels?
That's right.
Here's your first question. How much of the 20 will you go for?
How about 5? Should we bet 5?
5. In what city do you find the Terrace Plaza Hotel?
Los Angeles?
One answer between you. Take a guess. I'm sorry, the bell is tolled. It's Cincinnati.
They now have $15.
You now have $15. Remember, you're going for $1,500 tonight. Now, how much of the 15 are you going to try?
Try 10 this time.
In what city do you find the Palmer House Hotel?
Chicago.
Chicago is right.
Now they're on their way. They have $25.
Now you've got $25. Here's your third question. How much of the 25 will you try?
20.
20. In what city do you find the Sherry Netherlands Hotel?
New York.
New York is right. The little lady is right.
They're climbing now. They have $45.
Give the little lady $45. Here's your last chance. I tell you what I'm going to do. Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 45 are you going to try?
45.
In what city do you find the Roni Plaza Hotel?
San Francisco?
No, I'm sorry. It's Miami Beach.
All right.
Well, I'm really amazed. I thought when you came up here you'd walk off with a lot of money. I'm going to give you one more chance to get rich quick. Answer this question correctly, and I'll hand over $10 in cash. And remember, no help from the audience, please. Who is buried in Grant's tomb? Grant is right. Thanks and good luck from Elgin American Compacts. Don't go away now. You're still in the running for the big question. Fenneman, who's next in the docket?
A butcher and a housewife, Groucho. They don't know the secret word is sky. Our housewife is Mrs. Helen Hall, and our butcher is Mr. Jack Jeffries. And here they come. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. And if one of you says the secret word, he wins a 16mm Apollo sound movie projector instantly. It's a common word, something you see every day. A butcher and a housewife, eh? Mr. Jeffries, huh? Where do you do your butchering, Mr. Jeffries?
Ralph's Market.
And where are you from? Frankfurt?
Arkansas.
And where are you from, Mrs. Hall?
Do you mean originally?
Let's forget our ancestors swinging in the trees. Huh? Just tell me where you were born, Helen. I'll call you Helen, huh?
Okay.
Okay.
I was born in
too.
Kalamazoo, Michigan.
And you, Jack Jeffries, you're not related to Jim Jeffries, huh?
Oh, distantly.
You are. Tell me, Soup Bone, how long have you been butchering meat?
About 5 years.
5 years. Now, there's always something I want to know about butchers. How can you tell the weight of meat? For example, a customer says, give me a pound of ground round, and you scoop up a slab, and it always comes out a pound. Why is that? Do you go by rule of thumb?
Well, after handling meat for so long a time, you begin to get kind of comes second nature. You can pretty near pick up a pound and...
But you admit there's a small margin of error, huh?
Well, very small.
Mm-hmm. Just enough to buy a Cadillac at the end of the year? Now, tell me, Lamb Chops, what is the busiest time of the year for you, huh?
Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Well, you're busy right about now, then.
Yes,
huh?
sir.
How much are turkeys this year?
52 cents undressed, 59 dressed.
What do you dress them in, mink? What size turkey do you consider the best?
Well, I think a bird, about 15-pound bird, is the best eating bird.
I'm not interested in how he eats. I mean, how does he taste? That's what I want to know. How long have you been married, Helen?
Well, I've been married 7 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, don't have to be belligerent about it. What does your husband do?
He's doing secret work for the Navy.
How'd you meet him, Helen?
Well, Groucho, I was going to a surprise party to a gang of girls. So I went out and bought me the most beautiful black chiffon dress that you ever saw, quite long and full. And so,
you were quite long and full, huh?
No, the dress was.
Oh, you were short and empty, huh?
Sure. And then the day of the party, it looked almost like rain. And so
what did the party?
The day.
Oh, the day looked like
rain. I looked out into the sky, and it was quite...
You said sky, Helen, and that's the secret word. George, tell her what she wins.
A 16mm Apollo sound movie projector.
Oh.
Now you can show regular Hollywood sound movies or movies you take yourself, and it sells for $129.50.
Now, what were we talking about when the sky fell on
I was talking about the sky.
Oh, yes, that's right.
And then I started up the street, and I had to go about 4 blocks to a bus line. And then the rain came down. It just came down in all directions. And,
it'll do that, you know.
Sure, but you don't know what happened to my nice new dress. My dress kept creeping up and up until you know what, chiffon, when it gets wet.
Oh, yes, I have trouble with it all the time.
into a ball, and so it just kept creeping up, and it kept creeping up.
And where was the bus driver? Huh?
I had this great big mammoth umbrella, and so I was keeping it in front of me, and then pretty soon there was a car drove up, and some man stuck his head out of the door, and he says, well, lady, he said, would you like to have a ride?
Uh-huh. Well, when is the next installment of this, huh? I'll have to wait a week for that.
Well, could I tell the rest of it? I spread the umbrella the best I could over my lap when I got into the car, and so he drove me home. And while I was changing my clothes into something dry, while he and my mother had a cup of tea and a cup, and some cake.
Yeah.
And so they got acquainted, and so I don't know, just somehow or rather we got married.
And that fella's now your father?
No,
what about you?
Well, Groucho, he's my husband now. We got married in about 6 months.
I see. Well, that turned out very well, I suppose. Well, you make a charming couple, and we have the perfect gift from our sponsor. George, would you mind doing the honors?
For Mrs. Hall, pearls. The finest simulated pearls at any price. Elgin American pearls.
They're beautiful, and thank you.
And for Mr. Jeffries, the perfect gift for any man. Elgin American's popular cigarette case with today's smart leather-like look.
Okay, now let's play You Bet Your Life for $1,500. You're on your $20 into more than the other couples, and you get a chance at the big question later. Fenneman's offstage remind our listeners how much the first couple won. Tell them, George.
The father of the bride and the mother of the groom lost all their money, so these people have a clear field.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected mountains west of the Mississippi. Is that right?
That's right.
Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
10.
10?
10? All right.
All right. In what state do you find Mount Whitney?
California.
California is right, huh?
Well, we're off to a good start. They have $30, Groucho.
How much of your $30 will you bet?
20.
20?
Okay.
In what state is Liberty Gap Mountain? Liberty Gap Mountain. Sounds like double tone. Liberty Gap Mountain.
You know?
Tennessee. Take a guess. Oh, no. I'm sorry. It's right. Washington.
That's right.
It's Washington. That's a tough one, though.
They now have $10.
You now have $10. Here's your third question. You have $10 left. Now, how much are you going to bet?
$1.
No, not. We're going to make it last. We got one more question.
Come on. Yes, you have another question there, please.
Five.
All right. In what state is Pikes Peak?
Colorado.
Yeah.
Colorado is correct.
And they're on their way again with $15.
All right, you're rolling along. You got $15. Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 15 you going to go for?
Bet it all.
All right, all of it.
You're going to bet it all. In what state is Mount Palomar?
California.
California!
And they wind up with a grand total of $30.
Thanks and good luck from Elgin American Compacts. Now, in just 1 minute, our last couple will play You Bet Your Life, and then we know who gets the $1,500 question. But at the moment, I'd like you to listen to this.
Sterling silver, gleaming gold, jeweler's bronze are used, I'm told, in making compacts of such fame. They bear the Elgin American name.
They must be very expensive if they're made of such wonderful materials.
They look expensive, we'll admit. But looks are not the half of it. Precision crafted, value packed at any price, the best compact. Beautifully styled, superbly finished. Yet the price is so diminished.
Well, how much are Elgin American compacts?
As little as $3.95. And for the thriftiest man alive who wants a compact for his cutie, there's the companion line of American Beauty. $2.95 is all for these. So if you want your gift to please, say Elgin American when you buy. Now Groucho's waiting, so I must fly.
Now then, we'll soon know who's going to earn the most money and get the chance at the $1,500 question. George, who's leading so far?
Well, the butcher and the housewife are leading with $30. Our final couple is about to come in from their waiting room off stage. They don't know the secret word is sky. We invited some bail bondsmen and some process servers to the show tonight. And just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected bondsman Frank Tobolio and process server Robert Berge. And here they are. Gentlemen, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for Elgin American Compacts. And if one of you says the secret word, he wins a 16-millimeter Apollo sound movie projector. It's a common word, something you see every day. Mister, you're a bail bondsman?
That's right, sir.
Where are you from? Greenvale, Wisconsin?
No, New York City.
Are you married, or aren't you interested in the bonds of matrimony?
No, I'm married.
How'd you meet your wife, Mr. de Baloo?
Well, I dropped
Did you
into
jump bail and land on your lap?
Not quite. I went into a drugstore one day, ordered a Coke, and reached in my pocket, and I didn't have a nickel. Fortunately, she happened to be sitting next to me, so I struck up an acquaintance, and borrowed a nickel, and so I married her.
Wouldn't have been cheaper to give her the nickel back, huh?
Frankly, I think she's still trying to get it back.
Now, tell me, can opener, that's you. As a bail bondsman, just what do you do?
Oh, I make the acquaintance of various people and ascertain what their moral characteristics are like, and if they are financially responsible, and try to give them bail if they can't put up cash for themselves.
How much does it cost for one of your bonds?
Oh, as for an example, a $1,000 bond would cost $100.
I can get a $1,000 bond for $100?
Mm-hmm.
Does the Treasury Department know about that? How do you know if a man is a good risk? How can you tell he's not going to skip the country after you fish him out on bail?
Oh, I talk to him and try to ascertain whether he's of good moral character.
Suppose he's just blown the safe down at the bank. Do you spring him if he happens to have a kind face?
No. We try to ascertain what his financial condition is.
Mm-hmm. Depends on how much of the bank's cash he got away with. How do you find what his financial position is?
Well, we ask him a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm. Well, suppose I was in the Bastille because they caught me in a washroom using one of those paper towels which I blotted instead of rubbed. Now, you're going to go my bail. What do you want to know? I have a kind face. Now, go ahead, huh?
Well, I'd look at you through the bars, and I would probably say,
Aren't you a little premature?
No, you'd be in jail. I'd be on the outside. I'd ask you, well, what's your booking name?
George Fenneman. That's an alias I
use. Now, what's your true name?
My true name? Margaret Truman, huh?
Tell me, do you have any visible means of support?
A girdle, but I hope it isn't visible.
No.
Well, how about it? Do I get out of this flea trap?
I'm sorry. You don't look responsible. You're liable to skip.
Flattery will get you nowhere. That's the nicest thing that's been said to me in weeks, huh? Now, process server, Mr. Berg, in your job, just what do you do?
Serve summons, complaints, and subpoenas.
When is the best time to serve your papers? At night when the victim is sound asleep?
Best time to serve is at dinner time.
I see. While the victim is serving cold cuts, you hand out hot subpoenas. Is that it? What is a subpoena? As if I didn't have one in my back pocket. Right?
Subpoena is an order to appear in court and give testimony, testify, either for the defendant or the plaintiff.
Mm-hmm. And who do you work for?
I work for the Golden State Process Service.
How much do you get for this kind of work?
We get $1.50 for city service and $2.50 for county, plus mileage.
Mm-hmm. And how much do you get for mileage?
7 cents a mile.
That's where you make your real dough, huh? How much would you charge to serve a summons at my house?
Where do you live?
You know where the Burma Road is? You turn left there and go to Hong Kong. And it's the third Burma shave on the left. Well, we're happy. We're delighted to have you two as our guests tonight, and in return, we have some lovely gifts from our sponsor.
For the bail bondsman, Elgin American's exclusive heart-shaped compact that's definitely different. Something your wife will truly appreciate. It's jeweler's bronze that looks like gold.
Well, thank you very much, and on behalf of my wife, we appreciate this. Thank you.
For the process server, here's an ideal gift for you. An Elgin American cigarette case with today's smart new leather-like look.
Thank you very much.
Now, let's play You Bet Your Life for $1,500. Run you $20 in the more than the other couples, and you get a chance at the big question later. And I can't tell you how much they won, but George has gone off stage to remind our listeners.
The butcher and the housewife are ahead with $30.
Here we go. Let's see how high you can build your $20. You selected foreign monetary units as your category.
That's right.
Now, you have $20. Now, how much are you going to try?
$10.
$10. Here's your first question. You're going to bet $10. What is the monetary unit of Mexico?
The peso.
The peso is right, huh?
They're on their way. They have $30.
Remember, you're going for $1,500 tonight. How much of your $30 will you bet?
25.
Talk right up.
25.
25. What is the monetary unit of the Netherlands? That's a tough one.
It's based upon the English pound.
Nothing is based on the English pound anymore. Huh? I'm sorry. It's the Gilder, Guilder.
They now have $5.
You now have $5. Now, here's your third question. How much of the 5 are you going to try?
Try 4.
Try 4. All right. You're going to try 4. All right. What is the monetary unit of Japan?
The yen.
The yen is correct.
Now they have $9.
All right, you've climbed up to Mount McKinley. You've got $9. Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 9 are you going to risk?
9.
Okay. What is the monetary unit of Canada?
Canadian dollar.
The Canadian dollar is right, huh?
And they wind up with $18.
You wound up with $18.
But that means that the butcher and the housewife with $30 get the chance at the $1,500 question. The name Elgin American means the very finest quality, designing, finish, and craftsmanship. The best value. In exquisite compacts, gorgeous simulated pearls, magnificent dresser sets, magic action lighters, wondrous lighter cases, distinguished cigarette cases, handsome military sets, fascinating musical humidors. Your favorite store has a complete assortment of the newest Elgin American styles right now. See them. And for your own proud use, for thrilling prestige gifts, always buy Elgin American. And here's the winning couple, Groucho, the butcher and the housewife.
Back again to try for $1,500, eh? Good luck. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you, so talk it over thoroughly. And please, no help from the audience. Who is the head of government in Yugoslavia? He is now under fire by Russia. And what is the answer you two have decided upon?
We think it's Tito.
Marshal Tito is right. That's right. You win $1,500. Now, what are you going to do with the money?
I know one thing I need very much, and it's a new
umbrella.
Gas range.
A gas range, huh?
That's one thing I need.
And what are you going to buy?
Well, I'm
going to give us some meat for a gas range? Huh?
Could be.
Yes, you could. Huh?
No, I'm going to try to help my youngster through college. He's going to school in San Francisco on the GI Bill.
You couldn't give the money for a better purpose. You received those lovely gifts from Elgin American. You won $30 plus $1,500. You won $1,530. Congratulations to both of you.
The Elgin American Show, You Bet Your Life, is a John Goodell production, transcribed from Hollywood, directed by Bob Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. Remember, next week's big question pays $1,000. Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at this time for You Bet Your Life, starring Groucho Marx, presented by the creators of America's most beautiful compacts, smartest cigarette cases, magic action lighters, and finest dresser sets. Elgin American.
Good night, folks. Have you looked at your compact lately? And don't miss Bing Crosby. He's next, you know. Good night.
Thank you for listening to and showing your support for my podcast. If you would like to receive notifications of when new episodes are posted, please subscribe to my channel. Subscriptions are 100% free, and they really help me get an idea of how I'm doing. Well, hope you enjoyed, and until next time, stay safe, wish you well, and as always, peace.